I'm ready. I'm gonna make a little bat today. Or at least I'm gonna try. I don't remember how much I started with when I made the body for the little black cat. I feel like this is probably about right. I want to wrap it tighter than that though. Get it nice and solid. And then roll it. Oops, just totally sprang back out. Okay. I think that's as tight as I'm going to get it before I start hooking it with needles. Oh, so yeah. I had started a second cat and I didn't really get very far with it yet, obviously. So I want to make the bat the same size. So I feel like, because this is going to shrink once I start needling it, I feel like that's about the right size for the body. Okay. Put on my finger guards, because if you do not, you will stab yourself repeatedly, and it's not fun. These needles are very sharp. Alright. Try and wrap this a little better here. I don't want it to be quite so lumpy before I start, because it's already going to want to go lumpy. That's just sort of the tendency that I've noticed. I don't know how exciting this is going to be to do this on camera, unlike the painting with felt thing that I did. It's not going to look like much until it's most of the way finished, which I guess I didn't really think about before I decided that this was what I was going to do today. My ball accidentally has a crack in it. Oh no, it's a butt. I made a butt by accident. Oh. I think I can fix that. I think once I get it nice and solid, I can like add a little piece in that area and fill it in. Oopsies. My bat's gonna have a little butt. It's just a bat booty, that's all. My little box in the bottom corner is just solidly on red today, so I don't know how well my stream is going to be showing up. I keep looking outside thinking it must be windy or something, and it's not. I mean, there's a little bit of a breeze, but I don't know why my signal is so bad. I'm not even streaming a game today. Like, I don't know. Let's see if my tea is ready. Not going to see anything because it's fogging my glasses up. Okay. Well, guess I don't have milk in my tea today. My almond milk is bad. It's brand new. I just opened it. It doesn't expire until next month, but there's mold on it. So, not about to drink that. I'm gonna have to check the one in the garage later. Alright. This is starting to be mostly ball-shaped, so I'm actually just going to keep the black one out so I can use it for size reference. So it's a little bit smaller, which is okay because I haven't wrapped the second bit around it yet. I'm going to wrap another thing around it so I cover the little butt crack, but also just all the areas that aren't quite as smooth. My laptop keeps trying to update. I don't know what it's going to do. I think it's trying to install Windows 11 and I don't want to let it. I'll take just a small piece. Just kind of carefully get just the end in there. Alright, put that over. I'm going to tuck it here. Get my little foam. I'm not stabbing all the way through because I'm just trying to tuck it so that it stays put. And then wrap again in the other direction until it's all on there. So I'll hold it in place. Now I go back to stabbing. Stabby, stab, stab. Stabby, stab, stab. This makes my fingers tired. Maybe I'll just do this instead, since it's so small. No, I do need both, because it's gonna roll. It's small, but it's round, so I do actually have to hold it. Okay, I feel like that's a pretty good little ball. It is slightly smaller than the one I made for the cat, which is okay. Oh, but you know what? I wanted to make the body kind of oblong. So maybe I'll use this ball for the head instead. I want to make the body a little bit longer for a bat. Rather than perfectly round. Alright, so I'm going to pull off another little hank that's roughly the size that I started with for the head. That's probably pretty good. Just kind of roll it. Okay, I need to add a little bit more before I start needling. It's not quite as full as I would like. Well, that didn't work. This is unraveling, and that's the problem. Okay. I'm just going to start small and just build onto it instead. Because I'm having trouble holding it in place. Okay, so I'm going to do basically a head and a body for the bat, and then I'm going to do wings and ears out of felt and needle those in. Because with the cats, for both of the cats, I did the ears with the wool, and I needle felted them, but they were just, it was really time consuming, and they're basically flat, so I don't know why I bothered with that. And I don't want to do it again with the bat. So for the bat, I'm going to just cut a couple of little triangles out of felt, and then attach them to the body, or to the head with my needle. Ends in. Ends are a little open, so I'm gonna poke those in so that they're more rounded and not just like a round, hollow kind of. You see how it's kind of hollow right now? Just gonna go through it. Grab it. Trying to grab that end and it's not grabbing. There we go. There. And now you don't have a hole anymore. the shape that I kind of want to make for the bat body, sort of like a cocoon for like a butterfly or a moth. It's going to be like an oblong oval, kind of wider at the top and narrower at the bottom. So sort of pill-shaped, but not really pill-shaped. I haven't decided yet if I want to make the little bottom legs out of the wool, or just cut a couple of little shapes out of the felt. I might make them out of wool because it'll just be like really tiny little, like this kind of a shape, but itsy bitsy. I feel like that wouldn't be too difficult. Okay, so this is what we're starting with, and it's kind of, oops, it's upside down. So that's kind of the shape that I want. I'm just going to keep building onto it with extra strips of the robing. Still trying to update itself. Stop. I don't want to update. I'm busy. Can you try to update when I'm not using you, at least? Alright. Look at my little spooky tree. I never remember to turn the lights on when I have it sitting next to me on my end table. So I figured I'd turn it on for my stream so I can at least enjoy it for a little bit. Poof this just a tiny bit to get it to stay. So I can keep wrapping. Alright. I have my dolly mug today with all of my dolls on it. It's getting too flat. I think it's because I'm squeezing it as I'm holding it. I'm gonna need to order a new piece of foam soon. This one is getting a bit squishy. You see the dent that's in it? Okay. Tuck these ends in. Wrap another layer. Alright, so it is the length that I wanted, but it's obviously it's too small, because if that's the head, it's very unbalanced. So we're gonna wrap it probably a couple more times. But this is going a lot faster than I expected it to. I thought this was gonna take ages. I don't know why it took so much longer when I was making the cats. I don't know, maybe like I'm just getting enough practice that I'm getting faster at it. That could be, because I've been doing this for a few months now. Like I'm starting to kind of get the hang of it. I think I was a lot more hesitant in the beginning. Like I just did really small stabs. Now I'm just just attacking it. Tack this end in. That's probably the most important thing I've learned so far. Is that you really you don't want to hesitate with this. You just go for it. Because even if you do it wrong, you can undo it. Like you can pick this stuff out. It's not permanent. Like it can be undone. Any mistake you make can be undone. So you kind of just have to go for it. So if you hesitate and you go really slow with your needle, it's going to take you forever. But it seems like the faster you stab it, the faster it becomes solid. So actually, I think that's the second most important lesson. The first most important is you never ever do anything without these. Hey, Julie. Was I talking from your pocket? Because I've done that. I've put on people's streams as they're starting up and they're not talking yet, and I'll just put my phone in my pocket and walk to another room, and then my pocket just starts talking. I'm making a little bat. wanted to make another felted animal, and I wanted to do something that I haven't done yet. Because I did the bunny, and I did 1.5 cats. I have half a cat. I have a body and a head that are not attached. So I've done 1.5 cats. So I wanted to do something that was completely different. And of course, being me, my brain automatically went to bat. I'm definitely going to need a new foam block, though. Look at this. Oh, man. I'm trying to, like, go on the edges that aren't as beat up yet, and it just keeps sliding into the ditch. Maybe if I flip it over. There we go. All these ends in. Then I'll check my size again and figure out if I'm going to wrap it one more time. I think I probably will, because this still looks, just eyeballing it, it looks a little bit small compared to the head. I guess I could always felt the head tighter to make the head smaller. Let's see. Oh, I gotta stab this side a little better. I think the hard part with doing something this small is that it's just hard to see in between the finger guards. That's why I keep trying to hold it with one finger so that I can just see at least part of it. Alright. Give it a little roll. Get the shape nice and rounded. Okay. Yeah, see, it's still... Oops. Still a little bit skinny compared to the head. So it is the right length. But... I could try felting the head a little bit smaller rather than adding more to the body. I might want to do that anyway. Just get it as tight as I can. But balls are kind of hard. Dirty jokes aside, balls are really hard to do so far because I'm still new to this. I'm sure there's probably a better way to do them, but it's hard for me to get them really tight. Like, I can do little noodly shapes, like, for the arms and the legs and stuff really well now. Like, I feel like I've really gotten the hang of that. But anything that is supposed to be completely round, it's just a little bit harder. Because it just... when you roll it to get the lumps and bumps all even, it sort of fluffs itself out a little bit. I really don't know how exciting this is to watch on camera, but this is what I felt like doing today. I was almost going to paint. I had a painting project planned. I actually had 2 different painting projects planned to choose from, and I just didn't feel like painting. I didn't really feel like doing much of anything, if I'm being honest. Just not really feeling it today, but I made myself do it anyway, because it's good for me. Good for me to do things, other than sitting on the couch and watching Netflix. I put on my fancy glasses, put on a little bit of makeup, put on like proper clothes. I'm like, I'm gonna do stuff. Even though I don't want to. I'm gonna make myself. Okay, so that's pretty solid now. That did get a little bit smaller. I feel like that works a little better with the body now. I'm gonna I am feeling pretty stabby. I should sew more. I do have my machine out next to me. I sewed a little bit the other day. What am I doing? I want little strings hanging out. Little strings hanging out is fine because that's how I'm going to attach. Yeah, I did sew a little bit the other day because I really wanted to get my Fran Bow doll finished. She was sitting there with her dress cut out and like half sewn on her body for like a month and a half, and I felt bad. So I got my machine all set up, and I mostly finished Fran's dress finally. But she is currently on the doll bench in my bedroom because I had her sitting behind me when I did my game stream the other night. I'm trying to build up the top of the body and not the bottom because that's where I want more bulk. Let's see if that's... Yeah, that's looking a little better. Alright, let me anchor this and then put my little finger guards back on. Anchor the end here. Is that pretty well on there? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just frustrated with a lot of things today. So, stabbing something was a little more where my mind wanted to go. Not so much with the painting. I'll do painting next week. So, I have this little dude that you can see over in the corner that I'm going to paint on my stream either next week or the week after, because I also started doing ooh, that awful squeak. Started doing my nesting dolls. Started sketching on them. So I got this one's gonna be a zombie. This I decided the outside is gonna be a haunted house. I'm gonna sketch like a whole haunted house and like a moon and bats and stuff flying away. And then each of these is gonna be a different little creature. So like this one's gonna be a zombie. I want to do a vampire on the next one. And I was going to do a little skeleton on this one, and then I decided skeleton's kind of boring. I kind of want to see if I can do a teeny tiny little werewolf. And then, of course, the itty bitty one's going to be a little ghost. So I'm either, if I can get more of them sketched out, I'll start on this one next week. Otherwise, I'm going to do the dragon next week, and this the week after. Because I do want to get... I want to get them all at least sketched before I start painting on any of them. But I started them, so I'm pretty happy with the little zombie. He's super cute. I'm going to have a little brain poking out at the top. And there's his little arms. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to do a haunted house and fill it with monsters. And then when I have my doll room, I can set them up on a shelf with all of the little monsters next to the house. or I'll sell it. I haven't decided yet. I'll probably end up keeping it just because I've never done anything like it before, and I think it's kind of a cool thing to have on my display. At least for a little bit. Then maybe I'll sell it. But, you know, I keep making things and saying, yeah, I'm going to sell this, and then I can't sell them. Like the Halloween baby doll that I made a couple of years ago, I kept saying, oh, I'm gonna put this in my shop as soon as she's done, and then, okay, she's finished, I'll put her in my shop any day now. And anybody who was watching for her has probably noticed that she's still not in the shop. Because I decided that I absolutely could not part with her. I finished her up and I was like, nope, I love this doll. This doll's staying with me. I probably have a picture of that one on my phone. She's sitting in a dome in the other room right now. Probably there. I also need to do, I need to finish the face on my bunny girl. And put an iMech in her. I gotta scroll way down to find the Halloween baby, because I think I did finish her like 2 years ago. Close to that, if not actually 2 years ago. Might have been last year. Okay, here, let me see when this is from. Okay, so it was last year, but that's my, can I get the thing to capture? It doesn't like to capture on phone screens. Here we go. So, there's my Halloween baby. She has candy corn horns. So, yeah, I finished her, and then I kept saying I was going to put her in my shop. She's not in the shop because I can't. I can't do it. She's mine. Sorry, guys. So I had a couple of people who were interested in her, and I do feel a little bad, but like, shit happens. Oh yeah, I got this actually at Old Time Pottery. And I've had it sitting next to me on my end table in the living room for like 2 months. Actually, when did I get it? I think I got it in July, like late July, early August. So it's been sitting there. And I never remember to turn the lights on. Like, I have it sitting there specifically so I can enjoy it when I'm sitting on the couch. And I never remember to turn the lights on, so I looked at it as I was setting up today, and I was like, I'm going to put this in my stream so I can enjoy it finally. My poor tree never gets to show its pretty lights. I had seen somebody post that Old Time Pottery had gotten their stuff in like a few days before I had plans to go do an errand hangout with a friend. And initially I was just planning on going to office supply stores because I was looking at a chair at the time. And then I saw the post about Old Time Pottery and I was like, oh man, now I gotta go, because they had these like crazy-eyed pumpkins. And I absolutely had to have one. I saw them, I was like, if I wait for them to go on sale, they're going to be gone, so I have to go in and get one. And I went into the store just for that pumpkin, and I ended up buying like $50 worth of Halloween decorations. I got this, and I got like a little fortune teller skeleton in a booth that also lights up. I think only the crystal ball lights up on her, but it's still a cool decoration to have. I had hoped to get more doll photos with all the stuff that I bought before Halloween this year, but it rained like every day for 2 weeks before Halloween. So my house doesn't have good indoor lighting. So if I'm going to take pictures inside, I have to rely on natural lighting because my two little spotlights that I have are just they're not good enough. They're mini photography lights, and they just don't do a good enough job on their own. Like, they need natural lights as a supplement. So I didn't get hardly any pictures done because it was so dark in my house. And it makes me really sad because I bought a lot of cool stuff this year. So, sort of carrot shaped, which is what I was going for. A little bit, just slightly bigger on top than on the bottom. Let's see if this is a good size now to go with the head. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to attach the head to the body. And then I haven't sketched out wings yet because I wanted to get the body finished so I could figure out what size to make my wings. So, I'm trying to think what the best way to attach these is, because with the round ones, with the rounder bodies, I feel like it's a little bit easier. Although maybe not, because this is sort of cone shaped. My throat is really dry because of all the dry air in the house now that the heat is being used. So I made tea today. I don't know how much it's helping though. I'm just trying to figure out how to get this on here without flattening the head circle. And I'm a little worried if I stab directly through the top of the head, it's going to flatten. But I think that's probably... Although if I go from the body, I can probably get all the way through. And if the body gets a little bit shorter, it's not the end of the world. So I'm going to use that big dip in my foam pad to my advantage here. I'm not great at attaching pieces yet. I'm working on it. This is one of the things that I am definitely still learning. But I'm having fun with it, so I figure that's what matters, right? Alright, let's see. Whoops! I don't know what happened here. Oh dear. Oh, my bat got a little bit... He grew some hair. Oh no. I don't know where that came from. Did that come all the way up through the cone? Oh no. Oh, Batty. Okay, that's alright. We'll tuck that back in. We'll pretend that didn't happen. Sorry, Batty. I don't know what that is. That's organs. That's what that is. I poked through the butt, up through the head, and the intestines came out through the skull. Oopsies. I guess I didn't realize that would happen. I mean, that is kind of the idea, is that you're shoving the roving into the balls, but it just didn't occur to me that it would come all the way out the top. Oh my god. It had a very interesting little hairdo for a second there. Just want to make sure this is really secure before I start putting on wings. And ears and legs. Alright. Yes, he's coming at the top again. Oh my gosh. Huh. I don't remember that happening when I made the cat, but I didn't... I think this head is slightly smaller, so it probably didn't come all the way through the top when I made the cat. Alright, I'm going to just poke back in the loose bits that I can see around the body. Okay. And I gotta decide which side looks most presentable, and that'll be the front, and then I'll attach the wings on the opposite of that side. Okay. Let's see. Minus this little bit that's trying to poke out here. There. I think this side is a little bit neater. Which actually means it's probably not as tight, but that's okay. Because, whoops, this side has more little dimples in it, so I'm going to make that the back and attach the wings there. Oh, I got myself at some point. Okay. So now I need wings. Take my scrap paper. Okay. So start them about here. Trying to go more back than butterfly. Kind of hard. I usually draw bat bodies all in one, so it feels awkward just doing a wing. I should have grabbed my little mini blockhead pattern because it's probably pretty close to that size. Alright, I'm going to point it out a little bit more. There. Oops. I tried turning my paper like I learned how to do. Pretend I went to art school. $12,000 of student loan debt that says I went to art school. Let's pretend that I learned something. I keep getting these phone calls about urgent message that your student loans are going back into repayment as of XYZ date. And I'm like, you know, I have an income-driven repayment plan of $0 a month. I don't think you need to notify me that I'm going back to owing $0 a month, but thanks! If I actually had to pay every month, like, I would have picked up the phone one of the half a dozen times they've called so far, but I don't pay anything because I'm poor. Okay. Alright, I feel like that's a pretty good bat wing there. Make sure I'm holding it the right side. I almost feel like it still looks a little bit too much like a moth or a butterfly because the body is... It's not as oblong as I wanted it. I wanted it bigger on the top, so I think I'm going to wrap the body one more time and just add a little bit more bulk to the upper area of the body. Yeah. And then I'm going to cut out my wings. So I'm going to add just a little bit of extra on the felt, and I'm going to use that to needle them into the body. I like the wing shape though. I'm happy with that. Even if I'm not totally happy with my bat in general yet. I think the wing shape is good. I don't want to mess with it too much because I get into that headspace of I want it to be perfect, and I end up spending like 3 hours trying to do a really simple thing. And it doesn't really have to be perfect. I just want a little bat. I kind of just have to accept that I'm not going to get anything that looks perfect yet. This is actually only going to be the third finished thing that I have made, not counting the painting with felt experiment. So it's not going to be perfect, and that's okay. Alright. So let me do this. Oh, I just realized I don't have my overhead light on. That would be on my stream, but I can't hardly see what I'm doing. That's so much better. Oh, the light's gonna have to... The light's trying to adjust now. I don't know if it's gonna... Hold on. Let me see if I turn my webcam off and turn it back on. Because it just went very yellow. Nope, it's still yellow. It didn't like me turning that light on. Oh boy. Okay, well, I can live with that. It's just going to be a little bit yellow. Alright. Trace this out. I think I am just going to do the legs with the felt too. Actually, I'll wait. I want to see how the wings look. Because this is slightly darker than the roving. And I think it's not a huge difference, but I don't know yet. Okay. Yellow thread all over everything over there. Because I pulled my gathering thread and I just tossed it. I was using this, for Friends dress, this really lightweight, kind of crepey yellow fabric. And it's one of those, like, super slippery fabrics that slides everywhere. And every time I tried to do the gathering stitches, like, the tension on my machine was just a hot mess because it could not figure out what to do with this fabric. So by the time I got finished with it, there was just thread everywhere because every time I ripped the thread out, I threw it because I was frustrated. And I'm not proud of it. I definitely need to clean this area at some point very soon. But that's just that's just how that project was going. Which is why I still haven't completely finished it yet. I got it like 90% of the way finished. Okay, let's see how my little bat's gonna look with the wings. Where's the flat? There we go. Okay, so I feel like that's pretty close. I think it would be fine if I do the ears and legs out of that. It's close enough. I hate that it went so yellow when I turned the light on. Honestly, I might just turn the light back off after I cut all my pieces out. Okay, I need to make sure that I'm cutting opposite sides, so this way. Wow, I was worried I wouldn't finish this on stream, but it's only been an hour. This went really fast. And this is going to go even faster because needling these in is a lot faster than trying to actually make a shape. Oh, this is... it's going to be harder to cut those curves this direction. Let's just do the easy curve first. I probably should have done this as one piece. But hindsight's 2020. Whoopsies. It'll be alright. Curves. Really want to get a good pair of tiny little embroidery scissors for doing itty bitty little curves like this, because it's just kind of hard to do with my big fabric scissors. Alright. Yeah, I definitely have to bulk up the body because there's there's not enough body to add both of these on without overlapping them. Okay, that's alright. I'm gonna also take just a little bit off of these at an angle so the wings aren't just straight out. I want them kind of up. Yeah. Okay. Like that. Let's see. How big would I make little leggies? Let's just make them pretty small. Longer than that, though. Maybe a little bigger. Just keep looking at this shape and seeing like a butterfly or moth rather than that, which is not what I'm going for. I think part of the problem is that it's the color of the Pokemon Butterfree, So every time I look at it, I'm just seeing Butterfree. But I just picked this color because it was a pretty purple. But I accidentally made it Butterfree color. Okay, I think that's, yeah, that feels like a good little size for the legs. Okay, so I'm gonna, yeah, this here and cut probably about here so I have enough to needle it in. Alright, so that's a little leg. This itty bitty little curve. And then ears. These are going to be super tiny. Oh my gosh, that's so small. Okay. Oh. It's so tiny. But it has to be, because it's a tiny little bat. Alright, just put this... I'm not even going to attempt to get this on the camera because, oh my god, this is going to be so tiny. Like, there's no way. There's no way I can keep my fingers out of the way while I'm cutting something this small. Like, that's it. That's... Oh no, I dropped it. That's the whole piece. That's it. That's an ear for a bat. So, I'm going to do one more of those. I'm not even going to worry about cutting them on the same side of the felt because you're not going to be able to tell. It's such a small piece. This might be the most ridiculously tiny pattern that I've ever made. But I just want to make sure that they're uniform, because when they're this small, if they're not the same shape, it'll be blatantly obvious. Okay. Now I have to keep those separate from all of the little scraps. Get rid of all the scraps so I can't mistake the ears and the scraps. Okay, now two tiny little leggies. And then I can turn my overhead light off and get rid of the awful yellow. Oops, these are the paper scissors. There we go. Okay. Oh, this tiny curve. Okay. There's one. Still. There's the legs. I'm going to put the legs and the ears on before the wings. Just because I don't want to lose these little pieces. They're so tiny, I'm afraid I'm going to lose the pieces if I don't attach them right away. And I'm not even going to be able to wear the finger guards because I'm not going to be able to hold on to anything this small. So, you know what? I don't actually want these quite so long. I'm going to make them even smaller. Because I love to torture myself. Okay. Make sure it's in the right spot. And tuck it on in there. Well, they're so small, they almost just want to come apart rather than attach to the head. Like, I got it attached in the middle. I just gotta get these ends, but the ends are wanting to come apart. There. Alright. It's got one tiny little ear. Okay. I did it. I'm going to take the same amount off of this side. Alright. Here we go. Let's see if I can do this again. I thought this would be easier than trying to make them out of the roving, and it's really not. So I'm going to keep that in mind for next time. I think just because of how small it is, it doesn't really make much of a difference as far as how easy it is to get them on there. And again, because it's so small, like, they almost just want to fall apart. Whereas if I made them out of the roving, they'd be pretty solid. But they're on there. Alright, there's ears. Looks kind of a mess, but there. Barely. Alright, this one actually is just falling apart. Damn it. I need to go not quite so close to the edge of the felt, I think, when I'm cutting it. So I'm going to go farther in on another piece. Try this again. Okay. Right in the same spot. Okay. That's better. That one's in there. It's not coming apart. It's not coming out. Alright. We're good. It's a little bit wider than the other one, but I'm not going to mess with it too much. I'm going to attach the legs, and then I'm going to wrap and try and bulk up the top of the body and then I'm going to put the wings on. I kind of figure if I do this in this order, then I can cover the legs a little bit as I bulk up the top of the body and hopefully get them in there a little bit, give them a little extra security. Because they're just going to be small dangly pieces, I want to make sure that they are as snug in there as I can get them. So I think that that's probably the best way to do that. Okay. So I think seems like it's in there pretty good. Okay. Next, I'm going to cut them at a slight angle. Oops. Which goes this way. Yeah. Okay. Forward just a little bit. I think my needle might be getting just a little dull too because it's not, it's like shoving on them more than it's pulling them in. So I'll probably swap it out after I finish this project. But for now it's still working, so I'm not going to change it because I have to keep doing pieces of this without the finger guards on so that I can hold the itty bitty pieces in place. And I'd rather do that with a slightly dull needle. Just for safety reasons. Okay, so it's now got little leggies and little ears. I'm going to bulk up the top of the body with one more wrap of the roving, and then I'm going to put the wings on. Okay. I feel like that's a fair bit of roving. That's got to be enough. Even if I wrap it really tight, that's got to be enough to get the effect that I would like. Which is literally, I'm just trying to make it, give it some shoulders kind of. Okay. Well, that's not quite the right shape either, so let me take that back off. It keeps wanting to slide down, and I really want it up at the top here. So I'm just going to keep doing this. And then kind of pull it off of the neck and scrunch. There we go. That's a little more like it. So when I felt that in and it's nice and tight, I think that'll give me more of the oblong, sort of a carrot shape, which is a little bit more bat-like. And then I can put the wings on. We'll have a little bat. Alright. More stabby. Alright. Here we go, little Batty. Nearly there. this down off of the neck, because I don't want the neck to disappear. I want there to still be a neck. Okay. So, stab it until it's nice and dimply. Lots of dimples means it's nice and tight. Pull this back off of the neck. So just kind of pull it down and go at an angle. So that it ends up on the chest and not on the neck. Oops. And turn. Pull it down just a little bit. Stab until it gets nice and dimply. Lots of dimples. Okay. And back at the front. Oops. It's hard to hold on to this little dude. He wants to fly away and he doesn't even have his wings yet. Alright, so it's pretty tightly felted now. I just have to get all these little ends in. But I think that's actually works better if you use a star needle for that. So I'm gonna swap my needle out in a second here. I just want to get this leg tucked back in because it started to pull out at the top while I was holding on to it. Okay, so I'm going to get my star needle. Which is these ones. And they're just... I think my camera probably isn't going to focus well enough to show it, but it's just a slightly differently shaped top. It's the pictures in the books show it better than I can. It is vaguely star shaped. It's not really a star. It also doesn't really fit well into my needle holder. I have to usually put it down. I got it in last time, but I don't want to fight with it, so I'm going to put this one back in and just close this. And just use it without a needle holder. Oh no, now I can't get this one back in either. Oh god, what did I do? What have I done? Oh, I have it upside down, that's why it won't go in. Oh my god, I'm dumb. There we go, okay. I was trying to put it in with the big side down. It has to go in with the small side of the needle apparatus pointing down. Alright. So, the star needle, I think it has extra prongs on it or something. And it's basically just used to take all of these little raw edges and kind of stick them in there so that your pieces don't look so fluffy. Okay, yeah, that other needle is definitely getting dull because this is this is going so much more smoothly. But I'm gonna wait until I'm finished with this project to swap it out, just because I don't remember which needle it is. I'm gonna have to look at my color guide to figure it out. I'm going to make sure when I swap it out, I'm putting the right one back in. Okay. So I think it would make more of a difference if I did this for longer, but I'm not quite as worried about my projects looking fuzzy. I just want to get all of the long bits tucked in. Like all of the little tails that get pushed out as I'm felting. I want those tucked in. I don't care if it looks fuzzy. Like if I can get this leg out of the way. There's a little bit of a roving tail. I wanted to say a yarn tail, but it's not yarn. Right in front of the leg from when I was attaching the one on the other side. So I'm going to tamp those in. Fuzzy? Yeah, that's a fuzzy. Okay. I thought it was another tail, but it was just a fuzzy. Okay. I think there's another one. Oh no, my needle bent. I've never done that before. Here I was thinking I was so good at this because I never bent a needle. That's okay, I bent it right back. You guys didn't see that. Oh, I keep forgetting. I want to turn the light off so that it stops being yellow. Get this leg in a little better from the back. I think it will go in smoother with the star needle. Yeah, that worked pretty well. Okay. So, I'm going to fix this ear that's trying to go crooked while I have a sharp needle. That's probably why the other one came apart, is because I was trying to attach it with a dull needle. See, I'm learning. Learning. Every day I'm learning. Okay. Alright, I feel like that's pretty good. That's probably about as good as I'm going to be able to get it at the level of skill that I have right now. So I'm going to swap my needle back and start attaching the wings. Oh no, I pushed it in too well. Now I can't get it out. This is what I'm talking about, the yellow thread on everything. I might have to clean that area up after I finish. Oops. Okay. Wow, I'm going to be finishing right on time of where I wanted to be, I think. Okay, so I'm going to put this wing in. Oops. I'll take just a little bit off of the inside to make it more angled again. So just a little flatter than I wanted them, even after I took the first bit off. So just going to take off just a teeny tiny bit more to increase the angle that they're sitting at. Oops, I lost my front and back. I guess it doesn't really matter. Just look at it and eyeball it and figure out which side looks neater. Okay, this is the back. So I'm going to put the top of it sort of in the middle of the body here. Just anchor that. put the wing sort of wrapping around because I want it to end right at the top of the little leggy. Make sure that's good. Yeah. Okay. See, I could have cut them as one piece. Oh. That's alright. It'll still, I mean, it really looks like it's one piece. Which is fine. I mean, that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted the leg a little bit in front of the wing, but I actually think this looks better. So, let me just get this in here a little bit. I'm going to put the second one in. Then I'm going to put the finger guards on and really go at it. I think it's pulling too low down. I'm going to pull it up a little bit. Yeah, okay. See, I think that looks just a little bit better with it going up more. Yeah. A sense of impending doom. You know, I've heard that before. That with heart attacks, especially, sometimes you do have that as a symptom and you don't necessarily even notice that anything else is wrong with you. You just have an impending sense of doom. And the first time I read that, I was like, oh my god, everybody with anxiety who reads this probably freaks out because we always have that. People with anxiety pretty much always have an impending sense of doom. Shoot, I got my finger a little bit. Yeah, exactly. I have an impending sense of doom daily. So I just figure that they mean anything more than the normal amount of impending sense of doom. My mom's a cardiac nurse, and I did bring that up to her after I read it. I was like, is that a real thing? And she goes, oh yeah, that's a thing. And I was like, but what if you have anxiety? And I guess, supposedly, even people with anxiety usually will know the difference. And, like, she works on the nurse line at Metro now. So, like, she does talk to people who are having heart attack symptoms. And supposedly the impending sense of doom you get with a heart attack is a different impending sense of doom than you have with anxiety. So I guess you know the difference. You just know by the fact that, hey, this feels different than my normal sense of impending doom. Like, normally I feel like something bad is going to happen. Today I definitely feel like death is coming. That's, I guess, when you call 911. Yeah, I have to get my flu shot this week. I was planning on getting it at the beginning of the week, but my mom's day off is Friday. And I have to go up to Giant Eagle to get it. Well, I don't have to, but she gets $5 off of groceries if I get it at Giant Eagle. So I think we're probably going to go on Friday. And then I can just, like, take the weekend to recover. Alright, this little dude's head is getting a little bit loose because I've been pulling on it. Or I've been pulling on the body so much. So I'm gonna just see if I can get this snugged back up in here. And just go straight through the top. Yeah, it is really weird. I kind of wonder if it's like a specific hormone or neurotransmitter that gets sent through your body when you're having a heart attack that makes it feel different. Because apparently that's fairly common. Like, it's not, you know, one of the big everybody knows kind of symptoms of a heart attack, but it does happen enough that, like, if you call and you say, I just feel like something's really wrong, they start asking you heart attack symptoms. So it does apparently happen, at least on a relatively common basis, for them to know that that's a thing. Bodies are so weird, man. I swear they know when something is wrong. Like, I had a feeling for years that there was something wrong with me. I literally felt like I was dying all the time, and I didn't really know why. I just felt like something was very badly wrong inside of my body. And it wasn't until I found out years later that my gallbladder had been dying inside of my body, and nobody bothered to tell me. Like, I had tests done that showed that there were problems, and they didn't bother to tell me that there was anything abnormal on the tests because they just assumed that, you know, I was too young for gallbladder issues, despite the fact that my mom had her gallbladder out in her 20s. So, you know, I had an immediate family member who had gallbladder issues, and they did not take enough of a medical history to find that out. They just, the idiot doctor just assumed that it wasn't that was causing my problems at the time, because I had a lot of stomach issues, obviously, for years and years and years. And, you know, maybe it wasn't causing my stomach issues, but I had an organ that was so poorly functioning that it was basically just there. It wasn't functioning the whole time for like 3 years straight. And when I finally found out and I had it removed, like, after I recovered from surgery, that was the first time that I noticed that I didn't have that feeling that something was very, very horribly wrong inside of my body. Like, and I would tell people about that, and they'd be like, what do you mean? And I'd say, I have no idea how to explain it better than that. Like, literally, I just feel something wrong inside of my body, and it gets worse every day. And turned out I had an organ dying inside of me, and a lot of people were dismissing me as like a hypochondriac, or you're just making this up, you just want attention, whatever. Literally, I had an organ dying inside of my body, and my body knew. My body knew. Like, it was such a big vindication for me, like, when I finally had a doctor who told me, hey, by the way, you had these tests done years ago that came back abnormal. What did you ever do about this? Okay. Everything feels secure. I'm pretty happy with my little bat. I'm really mad about this yellow light, though. Oh, it's too dark in here now because the sun's going down. Damn it. It's just gonna have to be yellow. But, alright, so I'm gonna put some little tiny button eyes on this dude. Yeah, it takes 2 weeks before it protects you. I know, I want to get absolutely everything I can. I let my pneumonia booster lapse. I was supposed to get it in January and I didn't, and with my asthma flaring like it has been lately, I'm getting that done this month, but I'm getting that done after the flu. I'm getting the flu shot done on Friday probably, and then I'm gonna wait a week and give my body time to recover, and then I'm gonna get the pneumonia. Because the pneumonia shot, the last time I got it, was really horrible. I don't want to stack them together again. And I feel like I need the flu one more than I need the pneumonia one, but I need both. So I'm going to get the flu shot over with because it's usually not too bad. So, alright, I'm going to stop poking at it because I'm going to do that thing where I try to make something better and I make it worse. So, there we go. I made a little bat. It came out really cute. Fold his little arms up. It's a dolly-sized bat. Yeah, oh my god. And that's so dangerous too. Osteoporosis, like, if you have a family history, they really should be testing you early. I probably need to get that done at some point soon because I've been on a form of birth control that causes calcium deficiency. And I take calcium every day, but I worry that it's not enough. So I need to do that. I really need to schedule a laparoscopy because we're trying to figure out if I have endometriosis. And I kept putting it off because I kept thinking we were going to be moving and I'm not going to be able to lift anything as we're moving if I have this surgery. But then we kept not getting houses. So I think I need to just accept that we're not going to be moving in the next couple of months and schedule that. Yeah, it's a multivitamin that has calcium and vitamin D. I didn't take it for a while, which is bad. I know I should have been taking it for years and years, and I really only started taking it probably a couple of years ago. And I've been on meds that can decrease your calcium for over 10 years now. But I had so many health problems, like, that were really not well controlled for a long time that it wasn't a priority for me to worry about that. And now that I have everything else basically under control, like, I'm starting to worry more about things like that again. Yeah, I got my COVID booster last week. It wasn't as bad as my second shot. The second COVID shot I had was probably the worst vaccine I have ever had. Like, that was the worst reaction to anything ever for me. I did recover. I know poor Lainey, like, Lainey's been having health problems ever since she got her first dose. I don't know that she ever got her second dose. She had to get it because she was going to lose her job if she didn't, even though her doctor told her it was a bad idea. And she had a really bad reaction to it, and she's still having symptoms. It took me probably a week and a half to get fully back to normal, and for a week of that, I really felt terrible, like, really awful. So it was really bad. But obviously I don't want to get COVID, and I'm tired of being isolated at my house. I want to see my friends. So I got my booster as soon as I could, and I was really tired for about a week, but I didn't have anywhere near as bad of symptoms with my booster as I did with that second dose. No, I got Pfizer. What was I saying? Yeah, the first night was really pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. I had a really high fever, like, I was shivering and sweating, and I threw up a couple of times. But I woke up the next morning feeling almost completely better. I just felt, like, tired and achy. And then by the third day, like, I basically felt back to normal. I just, I don't know, I just felt tired, you know. It took a while for me to stop feeling tired after the third one. But I also think that it may have hit me harder than it was supposed to because I had just come off of a steroid burst for my asthma flare. So my immune system was, like, about to turn itself back on after steroids, and then I went and got a COVID booster, so right as it was turning itself back on, I threw a vaccine at it. But yeah, I'd rather I'd rather not die of COVID. So, and with my lungs being as bad as they are, all of a sudden, again, I'm not taking any chances. I feel like I'm still, even with the 2 doses I had, not as protected as I would like to be. So I got the booster. I'm hoping the booster is good enough. I'm gonna get my flu shot, get my pneumonia shot. One of my friend's birthdays is next month, and she has planned like a whole day. There's there's an oddities shop nearby that is going to be doing pictures with Mothman on December 11th. So we're gonna go do pictures with Mothman and then go get dinner and then drinks. Um, and it's gonna be like a whole day thing. So I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss it. Like, I've missed out on absolutely everything. I had to cancel what was supposed to be my return to vending. I had taken a year off before COVID was even a thing for my own health issues. And I was really looking forward to coming back, and then my asthma started flaring, and my doctor was like, you really should not be around people. My mom was like, if you go, you're going to get sick. I was like, all right, I can take a hint. I'm not going to go. I'm going to send a message, and I'm going to have to cancel, and it's going to break my heart, and I'm going to feel really bad for canceling last minute, but I'm not going to go. So I didn't go to that. I stayed home. And it took like 3 more weeks for me to get my asthma under control. So I'm glad I did stay home, because if I had gotten sick while my asthma was flared, like I 100% for sure would have ended up in the hospital. So, I mean, it was the right decision, but I'm really determined that I want to be able to go out. I want to see my friends. I haven't been able to celebrate my last 2 birthdays. So, like, I just want to see my friends, you know? I don't want to miss her birthday thing. So, yeah, I'm trying to do that. So I'm squeezing all of my vaccines in this month so that I'll hopefully be ready to go by December 11th. It's going to be a rough November. It's pretty much going to be a cycle of like feeling crappy and then going back to normal and then feeling crappy. But I'm hoping it's going to be worth it to be able to be out in the world again. At least, you know, in some capacity. Like, I'm still going to have to be distanced from people or wear masks the whole time I'm around people. But, like, it's better than nothing. I just want to see people again, you know? Even as, like, the most introverted person ever, I need a little human contact. I think if I hadn't started streaming, I would have lost my mind by now, because, like, it's one thing to chat with somebody, like, even in Facebook Messenger. It's another thing entirely, like, when I do the streams and I can talk to people on my chat, it's a slight delay, but, like, it's close enough to having a real-time conversation, that it makes a difference for me. So, I'm gonna put this here while I'm talking, so at least there's something on the screen. um, yeah, that's why I felt bad that I didn't do any streams last week because I didn't feel well from the shot. Because, like, this is the only real interaction that I get with anybody right now, because I've been forced to go back into isolation until I get all of my shots. So, yeah, I'll get them all this month. I'll get everything. I'll do what I gotta do, because I need to get out of my house. Like, my mental health is starting to suffer. I feel like everybody feels like that. I know I'm probably preaching to the choir every time I say something like that in my streams, but, like, it gets lonely, man. My mom works 5 days a week. She leaves in the afternoon. She doesn't get home till midnight, so I'm basically home by myself. I'm like, yeah, I have my bunny, but rabbits sleep during the day. So I have her for like a couple of hours in the morning and a couple of hours in the evening, and the rest of the day I'm just home by myself. So it gets, it gets lonely. I can't believe it, but I'm missing people. And I'm still not really like in a good headspace where I want to jump back into the dating websites yet. Like, I do want to do that at some point. Um, I just, I don't want to do it when I'm like mopey. And like I joined a Reddit community that I was really enjoying last year that I kind of stepped back from because my mental health started to take a little bit of a decline from being so isolated again. And I didn't want to be jumping into the threads every day, just being like the Debbie Downer of the group. So I just left. And I don't know, I probably should jump back in on that at least. But like I'm not posting as much on my social media. Like I try to use it to market my shop, and it's hard to do because I don't get seen because of the stupid algorithms if I'm not posting daily. And I'm not in a good headspace to post daily. I'm stuck at home by myself all the time with my dolls and my bunny. So, I don't know. I'm hoping to be able to get out after I get all of these vaccines. I'm going to be so full of antibodies, I'm going to be boosted up. God, it's so dark out already. Alright, well, I have to get the garbage out before it's pitch black outside. It's already really dark, so I think I should probably go. I finished that a little bit faster than I thought I would. I thought that would take longer, so like I didn't even get the buttons for the eyes out because I thought I wouldn't get to them. So I'm gonna have to go get buttons and put the button eyes on tonight. All right, that's all I got though. I'll be back on Thursday evening. Community. Yeah. Yeah, I mean honestly, like that's how it's been that's why I did the BlytheCon UK and BlytheCon Australia or BlytheFest Australia. Like I've been joining groups, I've been trying to be social because I know it's good for me, even if I'm not really feeling it. And like even if I just lurk, sometimes it helps just to see other things. And like BlytheFest Australia was great because as much as I feel bad for the poor organizers because there was delay after delay after delay, it just kept going and going, and it was a fantastic time. So like that helped immensely. Like they did weekly bingo. So at least once a week I had like, an hour long of being social with people playing bingo. And then they ended up spacing it out over a couple of weekends when they did the official event things. So it was, 2 weekends in a row where I had fun stuff to do and like interaction with people. And I mean, I don't think I wouldn't have made it through almost 2 straight years at this point of on and off isolation without online communities. So I know a lot of people like to rail against how terrible social media is and it's so addictive and it doesn't do anything good, but like it basically saved my life over the last year and a half. So it's not all bad. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna get going. So I will be back on Thursday with another game stream. I'm gonna play more of Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion. See how far I can get in that. If I get stuck in that, then I might start Visage, which I just bought. I bought Visage, which is like, It's sort of in the same vein as Layers of Fear. It's like a procedural kind of walking simulator style horror game. Um, so I'm looking forward to that. It's supposed to be really, really scary. So I mean, I think it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting, but it's gonna be fun, I think. I think it's gonna be like Poppy Playtime, Poppy's Playtime, whatever it was, with the giant blue creature that was chasing me through the vents where it was really terrifying, but I had a good time. So I'm gonna start with Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, and if I get stuck, I'll start Visage. Otherwise, I'm just gonna keep going in the Jump Scare Mansion game because that one's kind of fun. It's like it reminds me of Luigi's Mansion a little bit, so it's a little more tame. Um, but yeah, that'll be Thursday, 9:30 ish, somewhere around there. And then I'll probably be back to doing Tuesday streams for my um, afternoon art stuff the week after. So I'll probably, I mean, Julie, you get the emails, so you'll get the notification. I might post on Facebook or something if I'm gonna swap days again. So, alright, that's all I got. I gotta stop rambling because I have to get the garbage out before it gets too dark to see what I'm doing. Um, so, back on Thursday. Thanks for watching. Hope it was enjoyable. See you next time.